Welcome to another Beardy Bear Bros Hidden Gems video. We've extensively covered the Xbox, Nintendo DS, and even a handful of titles for the little cube that could. But on today's episode, we shall be focusing on the most waggle-tastic console of all time. Upon release, Nintendo's Wii took the world by storm, and while not graphically that impressive, its inclusion of motion controls united friends and family, old and young, gamer or non-gamer alike. But while most will have fond memories playing Wii Sports with their family, the waggle silly good times couldn't last, as between Nintendo's incredible first-party exclusives, Wii users were flooded with shovelware, bad ports, and a whole lot of shit. But I'm glad to tell you that even though they may have been missed by many, hidden under all the trash, were some absolutely stellar games. So strap on your Wiimote, try not to hit a family member, and let's take a look at some of my favorite hidden gems on the Nintendo Wii.
Zack and Millie make a point.
Sorry about that, I meant Zack and Wiki, a cute and colourful puzzle adventure game bursting with charm that uses the Wii's motion controls to their fullest. The game's story is delightfully simple and sees you play as Zack, a young newbie pirate who is accompanied by his monkey sidekick Wiki, with their goal being to find some hidden treasure and make a name for themselves in the pirate world. The gameplay is made up of pointing and clicking around each world, trying to solve puzzles, overcome obstacles, and even take down a few bosses. The game's art style, design, and world are absolutely gorgeous and are rendered in awesome cel-shaded graphics. But the game truly stands out for its deceitfully challenging puzzles that will really test your skill and imagination to their fullest. These puzzles are highlighted by the game's motion controls. They are so well implemented and genuinely satisfying to use. All of this just glues the whole experience together, making Zack and Wiki one of the best games on the system. Before we get to the next game, please help support the channel, leave the video a like, and maybe consider bowling your way over to the subscribe button.
Nice throw! Wacky Sports!
We couldn't have a list of the Wii's hidden gems without having a party title thrown in, can we? Wacky World of Sports is honestly one of the strangest experiences you may ever have on the system. Imagine Wii Sports if it was on acid. You see, it plays like any other minigame collection on the system, but it's what activities you partake in that make the game stand out above the rest. After choosing your oddball character, you shall challenge your friends to the insanity of the likes of tuna tossing, ice golf, card boxing, lawn mowing, cheese rolling, and so much more absolutely absurd games. These stupid games are accompanied by some extremely fun, tongue-in-cheek slapstick comedy that really does glue the whole package together into a game that will have you and your friends raising your eyebrows and belly laughing throughout. Yeah, it's a little rough, but it's dumb fun anyone can enjoy. While gamers that had adopted the more powerful systems were treated to a wealth of great fighting games, unfortunately, the Wii saw very few. But Tatsunoko vs Capcom is an exception, and an impressive entry into the genre. Unlike most fighters, this game really has something for everyone, whether you're a hardcore fighting game expert or an inexperienced newbie, as the game is really easy to pick up and have a blast with, but also has an underlying amount of depth and variety to master. Switching out your tag team buddy on the fly is tactically fun as always, and the special moves and combos are screen-filling spectacles. With this being a versus game, it also features a ton of content, challenges, and game modes with a huge cast of 26 playable characters that all have their own unique playstyles and movesets to master, making this game a great little brawler that will keep you fighting for hours.
Last year, Speed Racer changed the racing world forever. We all watched as he put it all on the line and reminded us why stunt racing is the greatest sport in the world.
Unfortunately, Nintendo didn't see fit to put its fan-favourite franchise F-Zero onto the Wii, but a game that plays very similar is Speed Racer, a blistering fast arcade racer that borrows everything great from the F-Zero franchise, like the smartly designed gravity-defying tracks, insane boosts, futuristic vibe, and most importantly, its blisteringly fast sense of speed. The game looks great, and thanks to its simple controls, is a joy to play. In the game, you not only race to finish first, you also have to amass the most points by the end of each competition to place first, meaning you will have to pull off some skilled stunts and moves to keep them points coming in. The single player is great and continues the movie story nicely, but as with most arcade races, this is best enjoyed with some buddies. A game that feels like an established Nintendo IP, but with its own twist, is Overlord Dark Legend, as the game plays like a far darker and mature version of the Pikmin franchise, but combined with the art and twisted sense of humour of the Fable series. The game sees you not only hacking and slashing your way through its world, but also sees you commanding goblins to help you take down enemies and solve puzzles to reclaim your throne. Building your army of silly British accented goblins and unleashing them on your foes is immensely satisfying, with controls that are easy to use and responsive. The world and its design really do stand out too, leading to a game that is just simple, dumb fun. Its British slapstick and dark humour give the game a humorous charm that will have you giggling throughout, especially when you're shaking the Wiimote to strangle your minions when they step out of line.
The sand slips beneath me. Soon all will be lost.
Just like Overlord, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands was built from the ground up just for the Wii. So instead of a simple rush port with gimmicky motion controls slapped on, we got a game that has had a ton of attention and love put into it to give us gamers the best possible Prince of Persia experience on the Wii. The classic formula that made the previous games great is all brought to this title, like the exploration, the risk and reward platforming, the time manipulation, and the super fun, timing precise combat are all here, and all still feel as satisfying as ever. And that's without mentioning the gorgeous graphics and super hammy story that's good in a kind of B-movie way. Also, some of the bosses are absolutely huge, and a true joy to bring down. Yeah, the time manipulation has been dumbed down a little, but there are still enough power-ups to keep the gameplay feeling fresh, and there's also a ton of unlockables to keep you coming back for more punishing, booby-trap-filled platforming. A Shadow's Tale is an extremely unique puzzle platformer that sadly never quite got the attention it deserves. The game sees you playing as a shadow in the background of the game's world, meaning you can only maneuver over the shadows cast by objects in the foreground, which requires the player to move objects in front of them to reveal platforms and openings for the shadowy figure in the background to progress further. The game can be extremely tricky, especially in the later stages, but using your old noggin to overcome the smartly designed puzzles is immensely rewarding. The game also features a smartly woven story, standout visuals, and an atmospheric soundtrack that help make this one of the most unique and best experiences you can enjoy on the Wii. I won't say much more, just go out and experience this for yourself.
A dark presence has trapped the souls within the tower. At the hour of the greatest despair, an unlikely champion has been chosen to help. His severed shadow will go forth to face the evil. He has no choice but to face the worst.
Probably the main reason I still whip out the waggle system, even to this day, is its ability to bring back the golden days of arcade light gun fun into your living room. And while I was skeptical of how the gameplay shift would work out, I'm glad to say Dead Space Extraction is a must play for the system. Twisting the Wiimote really does fit so well with the strategic dismemberment the franchise is known for. Many people struck this game off as a quick and easy way to get the franchise onto the Wii, but it really is its own beast that has had so much love and attention put into bringing the franchise to a much less powerful system. The story is deeply woven into the main series lore, and the shock, gore, scare, and necromorphs are fully realised here in motion control goodness. And honestly, the graphics are great too. All this and the meaty visceral gameplay, and not to forget the ability to play the whole game in co-op, helps the game stand out as one of the best rail shooters on the platform.
How much you like time clocking when you're serving it behind bars? Oh, great.
Hiya, Batman. Look! You're starring in a video game! Wanna play?
I'm a little tied up right now, Batmite.
Clock King's been teleported away to Iron Heights Prison, so now you don't have any excuses not to play.
Fine, but can I at least play as myself?
What a surprise! Another title by WayForward makes one of my hidden gems list. This time, the super talented team of developers gave us a side-scrolling beat-em-up using the Batman license. Before we get to the gameplay, we have to talk about the visuals, as this title is an almost pixel-perfect recreation of the show's art, and is absolutely gorgeous to look at, with the animations really making the game feel like you're watching an episode of the show. Joining the stunning art is simple but fun 2D side-scrolling action that anyone can pick up and play. Great music and voice work by the show's cast, and most importantly, local 2-player co-op that will make the game's combat and other deviations to its gameplay even more of a blast to kapow your way through. The game has something for fans both young and old, and draws its enemies and villains from the furthest corners of the Batman universe. Right, that's it. That's all I've got for you today. If you want to see more Wii Hidden Gems, be sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, and comment your thoughts down below. Until next time, you guys stay tipsy.